This is James. James started working in construction in 1997. He started in the trenches, literally digging holes with a shovel, and eventually moved to working with a pipe crew. He worked on all the infrastructure related to city sanitation and storm drainage, and he loved his job, the people he worked with, and the culture of working in construction. Eventually, he worked his way out of the ditch, as he calls it, and found his true passion, which is operating heavy machinery, specifically excavators. And just as a testament to how much James loves his job, take a look at the tattoo he has on his hand. And for those of you who might not know, that's the logo of one of the largest and most respected heavy machinery brands in the world. That's balls deep dedication right there. And it's by far one of the most manly tattoos I've ever seen. Unfortunately, 10 years ago, James was diagnosed with a genetic disorder that stopped him from being able to work and rendered him wheelchair bound. James now lives in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and is restricted to using public transportation and other public infrastructure to get around because he is unable to drive. James claims that he has had problems with the city of Harrisonburg lately because they refuse to acknowledge a serious public safety concern that is directly affecting his life. According to James, every time that he uses the public bus, the operators refuse to properly fasten his wheelchair in the handicap area of the bus, leaving him in a vulnerable position if the bus happened to be involved in an accident. James claims that he has reached out to several different city officials over the last year, and no one has taken his complaints seriously. He even hired an attorney to draft an official letter to the Harrisonburg city attorney, which was totally ignored. James has been involved in multiple verbal disputes with city officials over this issue, and he says that the city now banned him from using their buses because he cursed at them for not taking him seriously. This has forced James to use the sidewalk everywhere he goes because he can't drive and he doesn't have the means to afford a private chauffeur like apparently everyone else in Harrisonburg. James also claims that he has been harassed several times, and the video I'm about to show you is one of the many interactions he's had with the Harrisonburg Police Department. This video was uploaded on April 30th of this year, but I'm not sure if that's the date that the interaction took place. And that's honestly about all the context I have for you, so let's just jump into the video.
What's going on this evening?
I'm just sitting here taking a break, resting a little bit. Is that okay? Why does that matter?
I just want to see if we can help you out getting work.
No, you can't. What are you going to do, put me in there? No.
No, I mean,
so,
that was an option, right?
No.
I always offer it to you.
No, yeah. Give me a charge for something stupid like y'all always do.
I mean, I'm not trying to get
Harrisonburg City's so petty. I'm on public property.
You're on the sidewalk.
Quit harassing me, please, officer. I'm on the sidewalk.
Mr. Sheets. I just want to make sure that you're okay.
I am okay. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. Have a nice day.
Okay, where are you headed to this evening?
Like I said, thanks for your concern. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Sheets, like we talked to you
I don't have to tell you where I'm going. That's none of your business.
That's fine. You don't have to tell me where you're going.
Exactly.
Right?
I can sit here all night if I want to.
That is your business.
Right?
Where you're going,
Exactly.
okay?
So please have a good evening and leave me alone. Quit harassing me.
You can't obstruct the sidewalk because if somebody comes walking,
I will move for them. Yes, ma'am.
can you do that?
Yes, ma'am. No
Can you do that
problem.
for me now?
Sure. Make sure I don't get on their property. There you go.
Still obstructing the sidewalk. It's a sidewalk for a reason. It's not for people to
There's
sit on.
plenty of room, ma'am. There is no law that says I cannot sit on a public sidewalk.
You can't obstruct the sidewalk.
I'm not obstructing it. If somebody comes, look, is okay. Let me get this on. There's no people can.
So what if somebody else comes through here with a wheelchair? Where are they going to go?
I will get out of their way, ma'am. I will roll all the way up there where I'm completely off the sidewalk.
All right, let's set aside the legality of this situation for a moment and just take a look at the practical aspects of what this officer is doing. Her argument is that a paraplegic man is not allowed to be stationary on a sidewalk because that would constitute an obstruction. And now that, of course, begs the question, would she have said that same thing if this man wasn't in a wheelchair? Would she have just walked up to an average person standing on the sidewalk and told them that standing still on a sidewalk was an obstruction? It seems to me like this officer's entire point is that because James is in a wheelchair, he's not allowed to stop on a public sidewalk. I wasn't able to find any municipal codes in the Harrisonburg Code of Ordinances that have anything to do with obstructing sidewalks, but the state of Virginia does have a code that pertains to obstructing the free passage of others. Although this code does criminalize obstructing a sidewalk, it must be done in a manner that is unreasonable or unnecessary, and the person must also refuse to stop the obstruction. Obviously, something that a disabled person depends on as their sole mode of transportation, like a freaking wheelchair, probably wouldn't qualify as unnecessary or unreasonable. And James was more than willing to move out of the way if someone needed him to, and he made that very apparent to the officer. And I just can't get over the fact that she made a wheelchair-bound man demonstrate that he was capable of removing himself from the sidewalk if an able-bodied person just happened to walk by. I mean, basic human decency would suggest that the person who could walk would have the courtesy to allow someone in a wheelchair to have the sidewalk right away or whatever. And I just can't imagine her asking someone who wasn't in a wheelchair to demonstrate their ability to get off a sidewalk as proof that they weren't an obstruction. This is just straight up ridiculously unprofessional behavior here.
Why do you want to be here?
None of your concern.
Okay, but you got trespassed from here earlier, so why do you want to be here?
None of your concern.
Okay, then you should probably go, right?
No.
Okay, because technically, I mean, if you step over here, you're on their property.
I know. Did you see I made sure my casters didn't even get on their
I
property?
understand that, but what are you going to do if somebody comes by here and you have to move?
I've already told you I will move.
Okay.
How many times I got to tell you?
Is that going to end
I will move. I will move. I will move.
Okay.
Is that okay? Huh?
I just
Because
feel
I'm
like
tired of Harrisonburg City harassment.
I have never talked to you
From
before.
public transit, from public works, and from Harrisonburg City Public Police Department.
I've never talked
Like
to you
I said, look at here. You got a guy in a wheelchair,
Yes.
2 police officers, and I'm sure another one's on the way.
No, it's just us.
2 police. It's usually 3 for a guy in a wheelchair. Ain't y'all got anything better to do? Why don't y'all set up at CSB where there's no sidewalk coming into town and write speeding tickets? Speed limit is 35. People come down through there 55, 60.
That's my plan. I'd be doing that right now, but I had to come talk to you first.
No, I've never seen any of y'all give out speeding tickets up
I
there.
don't normally work this area, so I don't know.
As long as I'm on the sidewalk, there's nothing you can do about it, ma'am.
You're still obstructing the sidewalk.
I will.
How
If
many
I,
officers talked to you about that before?
I've explained it to you. I will move. I will move. So I'm not obstructing it. I'm just sitting here.
How long have you been sitting here for?
That's none of your concern.
I mean, it does seem like kind of my concern because you are currently obstructing the sidewalk. Right?
No, there is plenty room for somebody to get by me. Sidewalk is 5 feet long, okay? My wheelchair is 24 inches. That's half of the sidewalk. Actually, I don't think it's 24.
Okay.
If anybody in a bigger wheelchair comes, I will move.
So, what was the deal earlier with the trespassing here? Did they serve you with paperwork?
Yep,
Okay. So why
this
do
is no property.
okay, but why do you want to be here, man?
None of your concern.
So, like James is saying, why he is there is none of their business. It's clear that he was trespassed from a nearby property, and James even acknowledged this when the officer asked about it. He's making it clear to the cops that he knows that he isn't supposed to return to that property, and he has no intentions to. James is proving that they have no reason to continue making contact with him. And although it's unclear what led to him being trespassed from the nearby property. James does say in a follow-up video that he was there because it was the site of the last job that he had ever worked as a seat man, as he calls it. I'm not questioning whether or not he was legally trespassed, and judging from the footage, neither is James. But I did want to point out that James wasn't there for no reason at all. He's not a First Amendment auditor or anything like that, and one glance at his YouTube channel will tell you that. So he had every right to be where he was and didn't have to answer any questions about it from anyone, especially the police.
I mean, I think, that's my opinion. I think it's probably in your best interest.
You're going to be like somebody like that other cop that give me a charge for riding in the road for failure to use sidewalk. Okay, check this. You love this. Failure to use sidewalk. You look that code. No, I'm just saying. You look that code up. It says where the sidewalk is reasonable to be passed. Now, when there's 2-3 foot gaps missing out the sidewalk, it's not reasonable to pass. I got a charge for failure to use the sidewalk. Guess what? We went to court. He saw I had an attorney. Cop right in the attorney's room as fast as he could. Oh, I'm dropping it. I don't want to push that charge. No. Because he didn't want like a fool in front of the judge.
I didn't issue the charge. My name wasn't on it. I can't attest to that, right? I'm not sure. Wasn't there that day. Don't know what happened.
Like I said, I've been battling with these guys since June of last year on how to properly restrain a wheelchair. When you flip the seat up, it has instructions right there. Guess what? It's even got pictures. A monkey could do it right. And they won't. Explain that to me. Every time they improperly restrain me, they put my life at risk.
Okay. Like I said, I don't work for transportation.
I'll show you a video. I got plenty of videos, plenty of pictures for over a year, ma'am. Over a year. And they won't even address the situation. I always end up the bad guy. You know why? Because I end up cussing. I am going to city council. You can add. I went to the last one. Guess what? Fire chief and the chief of police had to sit right beside me for some reason. Harrisonburg is not the friendly city if you are in a wheelchair. You can ask anybody in a wheelchair that uses public transit. The drivers all harass all of us. There's no sense in it.
Like I said, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry you've been experiencing that, but neither of us work for the department.
After a year of frustration and nothing happened, they even refuse to address the situation.
Well, again,
wouldn't that make you angry?
That's when you take the issue up to city council, okay?
Hey, look, I had tried to call, what is his name, Adam whatever, the city manager. He will not call me back. I've been trying for months. I have had an attorney draw up a letter and send it to the city attorney. He refuses to answer me. So,
City council. Talk to them.
this is so petty. Obstruction on the sidewalk. When I can move, I am not obstructing the sidewalk. I'm just sitting here, right? That's not obstructing the sidewalk.
If I sat right there,
Has anybody made a call about me obstructing the sidewalk? No. Y'all are doing this purely to harass me because they gave me trespassing papers.
you get a call that
Yeah, from them. Not from a citizen using the sidewalk.
And boom, that's the main point right there. This seems like an issue that could have been resolved without the police making contact with James at all. The dispatchers had to have known that the call that they received about James on the sidewalk was coming from the same individuals that had him trespassed earlier. And the call probably should have went something like this. 911, what is your emergency? Yeah, that guy that we trespassed, he isn't leaving. Is he still on your property? No, he's sitting on the sidewalk outside. Call us back if he goes on your property. Have a nice day. Even if the caller had lied and said that he was on their property again, the officer could have just showed up and observed James to see whether or not that was true. They never even had to get out of their patrol car to determine if a crime was occurring or not. And I'll never understand why police officers want to do more work. Why would you bother getting out of your cruiser to go tell a man in a wheelchair to get off the sidewalk? Why do that when you can just sit there and radio back to dispatch that no crime's happening? Just fill out a no contact incident report or whatever. The point is, this is kind of like working at Walmart and volunteering to clean the bathrooms.
If the call comes from somebody using the sidewalk or public transit.
Well, now there's a family of 3 people coming up here. How are they going to get past?
Plenty of room. There you go. Does this make you happier?
That's perfect. I don't mind you sitting there.
There you go. I'm not obstructing the sidewalk.
You're just sitting taking a rest and it's hot. That's perfect. You stay there, Mr. Sheets.
This encounter is a great example of how dysfunctional bureaucratic institutions can be. James has been complaining about an issue with the city's public transportation for over a year, an issue that literally puts his life in danger. He gets completely ignored by every city representative he expresses his grievances to, and told that he's being irrational for cursing about it after they've done nothing to actually fix it. This puts James in a position where he has to use the public sidewalks as much as he can because he's banned from the city's buses. And now local cops are trying to tell him that he's not allowed to be stationary on a public sidewalk. Obviously, there's a complete disconnect between various agencies that are supposed to address issues like this, and it's clear that there is no interdepartmental cooperation going on to actually solve any of James's issues. They'd rather punish James and diminish his problems than simply address what is likely a very fixable issue. From the outside looking in, this is a recipe for a very complicated lawsuit involving disability protections, constitutional issues, city management and policy questions, and a long list of many other things. And in my opinion, a lawsuit is inevitable. The Harrisonburg city leaders can either get sued now for neglecting to fix the issue, or they can wait until one of the public buses has a fender bender that ends up costing millions of dollars because they refuse to fix a well-documented issue. All right, my rant is over for today. Please go show your support for James. He's not really a YouTuber, but you should give him a sub and a like and just let him know that he's supported. He's just a guy that is trying his best to get by, and the last thing that he needs is to be caught up in a web of institutional negligence. So go show his video some support and tell him that I sent you. And that's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're almost there. And oh yeah, pick up your copy of the Civilian Rights Hand Guide if that's something you're interested in. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.